Very good morning to my dear students. Let us start our today's lecture. Yesterday we have discussed the steps to create a connectivity between your Python software and your database. So we were supposed to do practical today, but firstly I'll try to complete this theory part because when I see to it, I feel like everything is being connected to each other. If I'll start doing practical and this theory I have not covered, then you will not be able to understand it properly. So what I have decided, I will be completing the theory part first, then I'll be I'll be dealing up with the practical. So I think 2 practical classes will be more than enough to cover this complete chapter. Okay, so today I'll be taking up the rest of the theory that has been left out. So in next 2 classes I'll be taking up your practical part. Okay, so let us start this particular program. Write a Python program that displays first 3 rows fetched from the student table of MySQL database test. Okay, so we need to check the database test first, means we need to open it first. If it exists, then it will show us the table, and we have to create it initially, then only we can use it, we can fetch the rows of it. So in this question we are assuming that the database test is already existing and we are fetching the data from the student table. Okay, for that means student table is also existable and test database is also existable. Now we want to give a solution for whatever he is trying to say. He is trying to say display first 3 rows fetched from the student table. Okay, so for that initially we need to start with the import statement. Okay, that will help the MySQL connector to connect with the database. Okay, so to this MySQL.connector, this library or this package is providing you the connectivity. Fine, so you need to import it first and you can rename it with the help of as keyword. Okay, what rename he has done? SQL tor. Okay, so now instead of writing MySQL.connector, we'll be writing SQL tor. Okay, initially we are going to create a connection, okay, with the database. So how to create the connection? Using this connect function, and I told you that we need to use 4 parameters to get it connected. Okay, so SQL tor means this library will be connected with the database by means of these 4 parameters. First is your host, whose value will remain the fix, that is localhost. Okay, next is your user is equals to learner. Okay, your name of the PC. Okay, what is the name of your user PC that you need to write? Okay, password you need to write, that helps you to log into your SQL account. Okay, and the database in which the table is existing. Okay, so database he has named it already test, and table we know we have a student table existing inside this database. So once this connection has been done, we want to check it whether the connection has been done properly or not. For that we will be writing myCon. See, this is a connection object that is indicating us whether the connection has been connected, is okay or not. This connection of MySQL is okay or not, means the connection has been done or not. Whatever the report this connect function will give, either the connection will be connected, means you will get the connection, you will get the connectivity of Python to MySQL, or you will not get the connectivity. Okay, if you will get the connectivity, so this complete statement will get replaced by 1, and if the connectivity will not be there, then this complete statement will be replaced by 0. So this myCon, which is a connection object, actually it is going to store either 0 or 1. Okay, so if myCon is connected, dot is connected, okay, if it is connected is equals to false, means it is myCon value is giving, it is giving 0. False is 0 always. So if it is 0, that means the connection has not been maintained. Okay, so what message it should give? error connecting to my SQL database. Okay, otherwise the connection is okay. If it will be false, means if it is returning 0, means this will be 0 and false is also 0. If both the sides are equal, that means the connection has not been created. If it has not been created, then only this print message will be there. Otherwise there will be no message. Okay, now we need to create a cursor. We have already discussed about a cursor. Cursor is actually just like a pointer that is pointing to the current position in the database, and that will help us to fetch the records from the database also. So what we are trying to do, we are using this myCon, which is a connection object, to connect to that cursor function. Okay, this is our cursor object. Okay, and this is our cursor function. Cursor function will help us to execute the MySQL statements with the help of this execute function. Okay, so myCon is your connection object, which is going to create a connection with your cursor. Cursor will fetch the data which is present inside your table with the help of this execute function. Okay, so if connection is done and cursor is able to use the data, then it will fetch the data using this execute function. So cursor dot execute, you have to write these syntax only every time. Okay, this way up to this, so everything you need to set in your mind, because these things will not get changed. Okay, up to here, or everything will be same in all the programs almost. Okay, next is when you are executing the SQL query, the same SQL query that we have done in previous chapters. Select star from student if you want to see all the rows that are present inside a particular table, and the table name he has already mentioned, that is student. Okay, so we want to run this query as we are running it in MySQL. So you in the Python, ideally we will be able to write this command like this, and it will, because the connection has already been done, so this statement will be executed in your MySQL. But keep in mind that you need to keep your MySQL also open while you are running it. Okay, next is your data is equals to cursor dot fetch many. So what it is doing, see, this is again another object that we are creating to fetch the data row by row. Okay, cursor dot fetch many. How many rows it will fetch? 3 rows. Okay, data is equals to cursor dot fetch many. Fine. So this fetch many function will fetch 3 rows together. Okay, from the database, and the row count will be 3. Okay, how much it will be row count? The row count will be 3. Why? Because 3 rows have been fetched. Okay, then we need to print this row data, okay, one by one using this for loop. So this will be the output, and last we are going to close this connection, myCon dot. See, this was the connection object. We need to close this connection with the help of this object only. So myCon dot close function we are writing to close the connection that has been created, that was created between your Python and MySQL. Okay, I'm giving you recapitulation of this program again. Firstly, we need to create a connection. Okay, using this importing the library. The name is mysql.connector. Then we have given it a new name. Okay, then the connection object we are using to connect it, by using this 4 parameters, we have to pass the values also. If the connection has not been established, then it will give an error message. If yes, the connection has been established, then we will be creating a cursor function with the help of which we will be accessing the data inside the database. So using this function only, we are executing, okay, the queries inside the MySQL, and we are fetching the data also using the fetch many function. We have fetched 3 rows together. The row count will be 3. Okay, so count will store 3 inside it. So we are using a for loop to print the data that is inside this database, student database, and finally we are closing the connection. I hope it is clear. Now we use queries to fetch the data from the MySQL. So see, every time we'll be using this execute function to execute the SQL queries. So whatever SQL query you are using directly in MySQL, here you will be using those queries inside your execute function to get it executed. Okay, so if you are writing select star from student and you are putting a condition also, so how you need to write? You need to write like this. Actually, we'll be using another method that will be much more better than this. This method will also work, but there is another method that I will suggest you people to follow. Okay, this type of writing queries in your execute function is known as, these are known as parameterized queries, because you are supplying the value of a particular parameter here by this way. Okay, so forming query strings. Okay, so connection we have already discussed. We will be creating two objects here. First is your connection object. Here we have taken name mycon, and another object will be creating your cursor object whose name has been taken cursor. That we have already discussed. We have created two objects. One is your mycon object. Here we have created, and second we have created this cursor object. So he is talking about the same, forming a query string. So what you are doing, you are creating two objects, mycon and cursor. Okay, with the help of it you will be writing up this code, which is just similar to the code we have discussed above it. Okay, so what he is trying to say, writing this way is an old method of formatting. Okay, if we are writing parameterized queries, select star from student where marks is greater than %s. Okay, this %s you will be replacing like this. Okay, see, in execute function will be writing this select star from student where marks is greater than %s you will write, and after putting this double quote, actually it will, these double quotes will start from here. It should be here. He has by mistake missed it. I'll be putting up a mark here so that you may correct it. So you need to put double quotes here. Okay, it is missing by mistake. So this %s will be replaced by 70. Okay, you need to write like this. Okay, so this is the older way. So whenever you are putting a condition using the where clause, so whatever value you want to assign, you need to write it like this. Okay. See, actually nowadays we are not using this method. Either you can use it, but still we are using another method that I will tell you, using the format function. Okay, this method can also be used, but we are using format function. I will be using that particular function when I will be doing the practical. Okay, so here if you want to have two values, initially we are having one value only, percentage. Once we need to write %s. Okay, here we are writing it twice. So how the things will vary? Like this, you need to write in your brackets. Okay, and one thing more I just want to add, if you are writing a string, so it should be written in single quotes. Here it was, I have written that has been hidden. Okay, so you need to write single quotes. Within single quotes you need to write. So while entering the data also, you must take care of it that whatever string you are writing, it should be in single quotes. Okay, then only it will work, otherwise it will give an error. Fine. So the same things that has been done will take up. This way also we can do. We are using a variable and we are passing two values that will be replaced by this only. If you want to use a object like this which is holding two values, so when you are writing query comma input, so these two values will be replaced here. Okay, this method also we are not following. We are using this method. Okay, That was for your information only, but in actual practical examples we'll be using this method. This is a new style for string templates with percentage formatting. Okay, so for this we'll be using this format method. They are of two types. Okay, the list starts with 0 or more positional arguments. See why it is saying positional arguments, because this position will be replaced by the first value and this position will be replaced by another value. Fine. So by putting this curly brackets you are defining the positions and they are known as placeholders. Okay, so 0 you will be writing like this, means inside the curly bracket. Even if you are not writing anything, then also it is okay. Okay, so you can leave it blank also. Okay, even if you are writing 0, so it will match. This is 0 index, this is 1 index, so it will take up this particular data and this will take this particular data. Okay, so it can be managed like this. So here also you can see we have not written anything inside these two positional placeholders, we can say. So using this format function, this will get automatically and Orca will get written here. Okay, so these are your named arguments. Actually these are your named arguments. So here we are writing monster and here we are writing city. So we are, see, if we want to, in this way you cannot change the order actually. Okay, this way whatever is written will be replaced by here and this Orca will be replaced by this position. So if you want to change the position, means you want to write it in a random way, so you need to write like city will be matched, value of city will be taken from here and monster value will be taken from here. So this is the named arguments. Okay, you can use any of the method. Either you can write 0 1 in between them, then it is also fine. If you are not writing anything between them, then by default will take it for the first and this will be for the second argument. Okay, and if you want to change the position, you want to write city value first, then you can use a named argument concept. Okay, where the city will be written inside the brackets, it will take the value automatically from there, either if it is here or if it is at this position. There is no big deal in it. Okay, fine. This example also you can see. If you are writing this statement, select star from student where marks this and this. Okay, where marks is 70 and section is B. So you have to select those students whose marks are greater than 70 and section is B. Okay, so you can see again whatever string we are using is inside this single quotes. Okay, so you need to write it like this in single quotes. Number, there is no issue, there should not be any single quote, but if you are writing string, then you need to use this single quotes. Okay, ultimately this will get replaced with this statement. Okay, now next, this function fetch one function, it is what it is doing, it fetches the next row as a sequence. Okay, if it is not having any data, it will return null. Okay, from where it will fetch? From the database only. Okay, fetch all, what it will do, it will fetch all the remaining rows starting from the current pointer position onwards. Fetch many, it will help you to fetch many records together. Size you will be defining. Okay, number of sets of rows you will be defining and it will fetch that many rows. If you write 3, so it will fetch 3 records from the default position, from the current position. Okay, next is your performing insert and update queries. So for that you will be using this cursor execute function only. Okay, and whatever we are inserting with the help of insert function and with the help of update statement, so that should be committed or ended by this commit function. Okay, so how to end it? You will write the connection object name first, then commit. Okay, I'll show you all of the thing that I'm discussing in theory. In practical, everything will be covered. Don't worry about it, because they are being used somewhere. So before I complete the theory part, I can't show you the practical, because they all are required somewhere in the program. Okay, so next is if you are writing insert function, insert statement. So how to write it? Insert into the table name, then all the records or fields of that particular table, and then how many are there? 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so we will be putting 5. 1 2 3 4 5. And why we are using this single quotes here? Because name will be a string, your grade will be a string, your section will be a string. So 3 times we have used this single quotes wala brackets. Okay, and dot format, then the value of these particular placeholders. So 108 will be written here, Eka will be written here, 84 will be written here, A will be written here, okay, and B will be written in this particular space. Okay, once you have inserted this query in execute function, okay, see, either you can write st is equal to this, or directly you can write the complete inside it, because ultimately it is going to get executed inside the execute function. So when I will be doing practical, I will not be writing st is equals to this. Instead of it, I will be writing cursor.execute, then the complete part inside the execute function only. Okay, then finally we need to execute the commit function also, that will save the content inside my database. Okay, similar is the case with update statement. Update, if you want to update a student table field, like we want to set the marks, we want to change the marks. Okay, set marks this, where marks this, means if marks are in previous record they are 76.8, then we want to make it 77. Okay, so in this way you can update the marks of the student. Okay, then you will execute it, and finally you will commit it. Commit means you need to save it. After the commit function, your data gets saved properly in your database. So here your chapter is complete. So tomorrow for 2 days we'll be doing your practical only. Fine, thank you so much. Revise these chapters before you see your practical videos, then only it is beneficial for you. Thank you.